this is the official start of the behind the scenes journey for the finale of the Soulfire Chronicles series. This short film, the finale, will be titled Echoes of Sacrifice. We filmed February 22nd. I'm not going to put it all into one big video like I did last time. I'm going to have it piece by piece so that, you can get the full context of everything that's going on in the process. You can really be a part of it. And if you want to be even more a part of the process, there is opportunities for sponsorship and support. You can drop a comment and we will get in touch with you, so that way you can become either a sponsor or a supporter, depending on if you're a business or an entrepreneur and you want to do some promo work, some investing in your business. We have that available as well. So drop a comment if you want to support the movie. It'll help us out a lot. We're already working with a few different local businesses that have been so gracious enough to support the short film. And so I just wanted to extend that opportunity to anyone who might be watching. And with that being said, that means the pre-production process has been finished. This by far has been one of my most efficient pre-production, I don't know what I want to call it, but it wasn't a session because it took a while to do. And so, it was the most effective time that I've had making and planning, the pre-production process. And I kind of wanted to share how that went for me and things that I considered since I am making this short film on a budget, and that I think will help you if you are also a filmmaker on a budget in the pre-production process. So one of the first things that I found to be, super important is planning, and also scripting. So scripting and planning hand in hand. When you're scripting, you want to make sure you keep it simple. You want to tell a great story, but you also want to plan for what you're capable or what you're able to do in the story. You don't want to write a script that is heavily reliant on VFX when you cannot deliver an end product with great VFX. You don't want to do it. You want to be able to keep it simple and make it doable for yourself, especially if you're on a budget. And so if you have a scene at a coffee shop, make sure you know a friend or know a local business owner that has a coffee shop that will allow you to film at that coffee shop. You want to write this into the script so that you have less stress and less of a headache when it comes time to film. Planning equals not perfection, because perfection is almost impossible. But proper planning prevents poor performance, if that's how the saying goes. And we touched on it a little bit in the script writing process, but locations are key. You wanna not rent out or look for fancy locations, because that's gonna eat away at your budget really fast. You're gonna have to look for permits, permissions, and all that stuff. So what you wanna do is, like I said earlier, look for businesses that you can talk to, small businesses that you can support, and ask for their permission. Look for public places like parks or churches, like I said, local businesses, and all these types of things. They're gonna be low cost or free for you, and it'll help you in your budget. You don't want to be mid-shoot and shut down because you don't have the proper permits or permissions, or you don't want to eat through your whole budget because you're renting out this crazy studio that you couldn't afford. Next thing I want to talk about is gear. If you do not have a lot of gear, this is what you can do if you're on a low budget. You can rent it, number one. So if you saved money in the location area, you can spend that money in the gear department. You want to rent, you can, because you save money through permits and all the location planning, location scouting. So you can rent. Or what I recommend is to involve your friends that are creatives. If they have cameras, if they have light setups, invite them to be a part of the crew, a part of the production voluntarily, so you can save money. Or you can slide them a tip or something. But you want to borrow or rent, and that's gonna be super key. You don't have to have the best camera setups, lighting. You don't have to have all that. And I say this because a lot of phones nowadays are pretty good with cameras. As long as you can set them up and use them the right way, they can look pretty cinematic. So those are your three options: rent, borrow, or use what you have. Your phone, a cheaper camera, and just go for that aesthetic. But you don't have to spend your whole budget on gear. You don't need Hollywood production gear type of equipment to make and tell a really good story. I've refined this through the short films that I've been doing lately, and it's the crew size. At first I started it was just myself, and I filmed myself, and I, did everything myself. And little by little, I started adding people into that process until I figured out that, up until a certain point is where you're most efficient, most effective. So you want to keep a small crew because that has a big impact, and especially if you keep a small crew, you want to make sure your crew is multi-skilled. So if you have a friend that wants to, be an actor, ask them if they can also be a set designer. If you have someone that's being your DP, ask them if they can do sound. Have your people in your crew wear multiple hats so that you can stress less about having to have more people on set and having to worry about mouths to feed and whatever else that comes with drama. But small set, big impact, super important. And then the last two things, props and food. When it comes to props, don't go overboard. Yes, there's some things that you may have to buy depending on what story you're telling, but most of the time you can get away with things that you already have in your wardrobe. You can get away with things that people already own, colors that they already use, pieces that they're already familiar with how to style, and you can really get away with wardrobe and props in this way. You don't have to spend money on it. You can just go with what you have. You can, in the pre-production process, you can script write based on what it is that you already have. You don't have to write something out that you're not aware of how you're gonna, make it happen. If you know that you don't have a Lamborghini, don't go writing into the script, a Lamborghini pulls up to pick up Jessica. How are you gonna do that? Make sure you put a Toyota Corolla that's beat up, pulls up to pick up Jessica, because that's what you got. Be realistic. Don't go spending stupid money. And then food. Feed your crew, feed your people. It'll keep them happy. It'll make them continue to work hard throughout the day. You do not want to underappreciate your crew or have them starving on set. People that are hungry are cranky, and people that are cranky are not good to work with. So feed your people, make sure they're well taken care of. Keep the locations together so that people don't have to waste gas, or you don't have to waste gas. That'll save you money as well, and that'll also keep your crew happy. So these are things that I took into consideration in my pre-production process. You can see it all here on my Milano board. I've been showing you all the different examples. I actually have to film that and then show you, but in the video you'll be seeing it as I'm doing it, going and touching on each point that we talked here and how I did my own pre-production version of that. So yeah, if I've learned anything throughout this whole pre-production process, it's that time is money at the end of the day. The more you plan, the less you waste. So keep it simple, use what you have, and focus on telling a great story first and foremost. If you found this video helpful at all, drop a like, drop a comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for the rest of this BTS journey for the Soulfire Chronicles finale. I appreciate you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.